against Zambia's boundless efforts to support, in support of the liberation struggle. This was the brutal assassination of the late Chitepo, one of the most leading nationalists in Zimbabwe. The president further said, "We are shocked as Zambians. We are still grieved and angered. We remain bitter against the murderous act, bitter against the murderers themselves, the enemies of Zambia and Africa. Many Zambians are, to say the least, very dismayed and justifiably irritated by statements made by some Zimbabwean nationals. Some nationalist leaders have shown no concern whatsoever for the assassination of Mr. Chitepo. To them, Mr. Chitepo has been assassinated, and that must be the end. Instead of calling upon the party and government to track down the killers of this gallant fighter, they are either completely silent, while others virtually demand that we stop the investigation. We stop the investigation altogether, and thereby shelter the assassins and their imperialist paymasters, the minds of freedom fighters, and to deal a heavy blow on the struggle." So you see what type of party ZANU-PF is. When Herbert Chitepo was assassinated, these ZANU-PF people, they fought the Zambian government to stop investigating the assassination of Chitepo. To them, they said Chitepo was assassinated. That's all. That is the end of Chitepo. They didn't want this to be investigated. But Zambia went on to say, "We are going to investigate because this has happened in Zambia. If it had happened in Zambia, in Zimbabwe, we were not going to be concerned." And why is it that ZANU-PF people are the same people who are saying this should not be investigated? Why? Why are you hiding? What are you hiding? So he went on to say, Kenneth Kaunda went on to say, "Can we stop the investigation?" That was a question asked by Kenneth Kaunda. Then he answered it, said, "I say categorically no. We are going ahead with full strength till we find the culprits and identify the real agenda bent on disrupting the armed struggle in Zimbabwe." President Kenneth Kaunda further stressed that it is our national and international duty to seek these agents out. Kenneth Kaunda said we need to expose them and bring them to book. We have a duty to investigate the case of Mr. Chitepo's death, and we intend to carry out that investigation with the thoroughness of a tooth comb. We will leave no stone unturned. Announcing the formation of the commission itself, His Excellency, the President, and had this to say: "We have nothing to hide from Zimbabweans, the Organization of African Unity, and the world. I have thus, on behalf of the party, the government and the people of Zambia, decided to establish a commission of inquiry to carry out the investigation. The special commission will consist of a team selected from the UNIP Central Committee, and the cabinet. I am also inviting some members of the OAU, a Liberation Committee, and its executive secretary, as well as representatives of Botswana, Zaire, Congo Brazzaville, Malawi, Tanzania, Frelimo and Mozambique, to be members of this special commission. Zambia Security Forces, or Zambia Security Services, or Zambia Intelligence will be at the disposal of the commission in its investigation. I want this special commission to thoroughly study the events ending up to Mr. Chitepo's death. To this end, I invite anyone, anywhere in Zambia, Zimbabwe, and the rest of the world who has any evidence to help the commission to come forward. I especially invite leaders in Zimbabwe and their compatriots in the world who feel very strongly about our actions to come to Zambia and give the commission the facts. We will provide a full report to the Organization of African Union following the findings of this commission. As always, we in Zambia want to be completely honest about the recent events. We will be honest in the interest of the struggle. We have vowed to support until victory is won in Zimbabwe. At the same time, this inquiry will interfere with the criminal proceedings through a court of law if the assassinators or assassinations are found, or assassins are found. We view Mr. Chitepo's death with utmost gravity. Finally, let me say that we understand the situation in Southern Africa very well. We know that we know what we are doing. We know every step we are taking. The armed struggle in Zimbabwe has not ended. It will continue. It will be intensified unless majority rule is achieved. Smith must not be under any illusions whatsoever. 1975 is a year of decision. I like this from Kenneth Kaunda. As I said, I will be like giving a commentary on it. A commentary. Kenneth Kaunda vakataura vakati, the struggle war in Zimbabwe is not going to end. The assassination of Herbert Wilshire Chitepo is not the end of the war. We will intensify the war until Smith and surrender. He must not be under illusions whatsoever. 1975 is a year of decisions. This was the stance taken by His Excellency President of Zambia, Kenneth Kaunda. The full text of His Excellency's address to the nation is Appendix 1. So we are going to read the Appendix 1 next time. I'm not going to read it. The full address, there's a full address that His Excellency President Kenneth Kaunda gave on this matter. The composition of the commission was agreed between the Zambian government and the Council of Ministers in the 9th extraordinary session of the OAU, held in Dar es Salaam in early 1975. This took the form of geographical representation. On this basis, invitations were dispatched to the heads of state of the countries which were chosen within each geographical region to send representatives to serve the commission apart from Zambia commissioners, these were invited. I've read the list of the countries that sent commissioners to this commission. Botswana was there, Congo, Ivory Coast, Libya, Malawi, Morocco, Mozambique, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, Somalia, Tanzania, and Zaire. All these countries, they send representatives to this commission. The two Zambian commissioners, vaitungamirira we Honorable Arasika Manga, na chairman of the who was chairman of the Political, Constitutional, Legal and Foreign Affairs Committee. Uye unipi anzi paipa but mkoma den regerai vanzwe mazano aya varakashi vanzwe tika bloka vanhu havasi kuzonzwa. This is a good way of Zimbabweans to see who are they and who do they represent. Kana paipata ichiti varakashava havana mafacts vapererwa ndozvatinenge ichitaura. So this platform is a very good platform. It's a platform of exposing them. Don't engage them. Let them say whatever they are saying, because it's on record. So keep it. Let them comment. Let them shout. Let them regai vaputike moyo. Don't answer them. Because I'm not going to stop this report now. The report will be serialized and I'm going to complete the report. When I start it, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to serialize it all. Saka vacharamba vari pano, they make numbers grow and they make people see what type of people Varakash are. And so don't answer them. Let them talk. They can't block this presentation. This is going viral. I've got 196 people watching and sharing this. That means it will spread all over the world. People would understand what animals ZANU-PF is. As Ngoma block is for cowards. Yes, don't block. We don't block them. Let them hear us talking. Let them hear me talking. Let them hear me talking. Let them hear me reading this. Vataurire vakuru vavo kuda report yazo buriswa na Yuda manje. As we were 204 definitely. So out of 204, if you share this, then it means you are reaching 200 to 300,000 people who would understand what Varakash are, and their comments are being read widely. It's not Zimbabweans only who are on this platform. We have got certain individuals, important people on this platform. So let them write whatever they write. Let them shout on top of their voices. You have a very good spirit, Mr. Yuda. Definitely, varikunzwa. Ukaona vakutuka vazhinzwa. And you're watching from Namibia. Saka, let me continue. I didn't want to stop. But, Ngoma Temba, let them do it. Vanhu vaive kuti kana vakatuka vakandiona parod, they can't stop me. Anoona. Saka they are nothing. They are nothing. If they meet me in road, vanotiza. Oh, Saka vandotuka pa Facebook because they can't even face me. They are not even bold enough. Nditori pane imwe level yekuti handibatiki. Adidi. And the inbox, inbox kwanga, I don't reply them. Don't entertain them inbox. Leave them. Do what? Rega vanyore zvavanonyora. Vanonyora tsamba dzavanotuma, but adzishande kwamuri, guys. Adzishande kana. Forget it. So said to be divided because of mere politics. Siyai vakadaro. Saka let them hear. Let them vashandise data ravo. Let them listen to Shepherd reading the assassination of Chitepo, because what we want to know, why did ZANU-PF assassinate someone who was fighting for the struggle of Zimbabwe? And Zaka demoralized the struggle. And people almost say, Wondo Yapera boss Chitepo has been assassinated. But Kenneth Kaunda had to stand firm and tell those people we are still sponsoring the war. And that's no kumamisa kasakane Yuda. Kumamisa kwacho igomo ka. Igomo kumamisa kwacho bozi kune vamwe vakazvitry. Vakakwira gomo. Go deeper. Thank you so much. Kumamisa Yuda igomo futi. Igomo ndiri gomo. Kukwira gomo ndrokwira ka otokwira uchizorora. Paunokwanda kunomamisa pe unosvika kai chikarawo zvacho. Vanzi verenga shaverenga. Thank you so much, Jim. I didn't want to stop. Right. So the two Zambian commissioners, Kwayonaka Manga, who was the chairman of the Political, Constitutional, Legal and Foreign Affairs, because Yama Inza Chona, aivepo ipapo. Saka Botswana, Shanambotara Shekuti, I will say, kuti Botswana yaimirirwa nani. Botswana, the ambassador was Sikunyana, member of parliament of the Central Committee of Botswana Democratic Party. And then there was also from Botswana, Mr. E. Lagwaila, senior state counsel, was there. Then Libya had His Excellency Ismail Sadiq Ben Ismail, ambassador. I think you guys, those who grew up around 1980, you still remember Ismail Sadiq Ben Ismail. You remember this guy. I remember him very well. He was the ambassador with Libya, Zambia. Then Malagas, or I think no Madagascar now, Malagas. Then His Excellency J.H. Ratsimbazafi, ambassador. Then Malawi, Kwakuna Yuda, Malawi. Kwakuna Seguru wa Yuda. Honorable E. Gadama, member of parliament, MP who was also minister without portfolio in the Malawi government. In Morocco, there was His Excellency Abdelaziz Jamal, who was ambassador. In OAU was represented by its executive secretary, who was Lieutenant Colonel Mpita. Sierra Leone was represented by Katubu, judge of the High Court. Somalia was represented by Sufi, Mr. S. Sufi, who was charged affairs. Tanzania was represented by Ndugu. Ndugu Bashe. Ndugu Bashe Mikdadi or Mikdadi. I don't know who was of the central member of the Central Committee of TANU. Ndugu J.C. Warioba, who was also the Attorney General for Tanzania, to delegates. Zaire, DRC today, was represented by His Excellency Bande Larit Nyarende, who was the ambassador, and the Stoen Malengela Shambui was the first secretary of DRC, or Democratic Republic of Congo. On the 1st and the 2nd July 1975, by statutory instrument number 101 and the statutory instrument number 102 of 1975, we were appointed by His Excellency under the provisions of the Inquiries Act Laws Volume 4, Cap 181, with the following terms of reference. With the terms of reference, ZANU-PF does not want this report to be known at all. ZANU-PF do not want this report to be known at all. So let's tell the world what was contained in that report. The terms of conditions were that 1, they inquire into the events and circumstances leading to the death of the late Herbert Chitepo on the 18th of March 1975. 2, they to establish the facts and surrounding the said death. 3, they wanted to investigate and establish whether any racist or imperialist agents or counter-revolutionaries or saboteurs were directly responsible for the said death. 4, they wanted to investigate and establish the identity and the motive of the person or persons responsible for the assassination. 5, they wanted to make sure, or they had to make recommendations with regard to the measures or any additional measures that ought to be taken for the security of persons engaged in any political activities aimed at attainment of freedom and independence of the people of Zimbabwe and of any other country in Africa still under colonial and minority rule. The full terms of the commission are contained in a statutory instrument number 101 of 1975 and at a page 7. In accordance with the Inquiries Act, on Tuesday, the 1st of July 1975, the members of the commission the commission representatives were sworn in by Honorable Chief Justice of Zambia, Mr. Anel Silungwe, at the High Court building, Lusaka. These included the commissioners from Zambia, Botswana, Libya, Malagasy, Morocco, Sierra Leone, Tanzania, and Zaire. The commissioners from Malawi and the OAU were sworn in on a Wednesday, the 2nd of July 1975, while the commissioners from Somalia and from Mozambique were sworn in on Thursday, the 3rd of July 1975, and on a Tuesday, on the 27th of January 1976. On the evening of the 2nd July 1975, His Excellency President Kenneth Kaunda hosted a dinner in honor of the commission. By coincidence, leader of the ANC, including Bishop Abe Otendekai Mzorewa, Joshua Mkomo, Ngomo, anonzi Ngomo, isakurata chiri Mkomo, anonzi Ngomo. Leaders of the ANC, including Bishop Abe Otendekai Mzorewa, Joshua Ngomo, and Reverend Abaningiston, were in Lusaka at that time and were also invited to the dinner. Languages of the commission. That means this report has been produced in different languages. So languages of the commission, in view of the commission's composition, the 3 official languages of the OAU, namely Arabic, English, and French, were used. At the July meeting, the pattern of language usage by countries was also as follows. Botswana, inotaura Chirungu, English. Libya, Arabic. Malagasy, French. Malawi, English. Morocco, French. OAU, English. Sierra Leone, English. Somalia, English. Tanzania, English. Zaire, French. Zambia, English. This is common knowledge to Zimbabweans, is it? In its initial stages, the commission was faced with the problem of inadequate interpretation and translation facilities owing to the non-arrival of interpreters and translators requested from OAU headquarters in Addis Ababa. Alternatively, arrangements were made for interpreters and stenographers to come from Egypt.